Hello, I'm Ella Isakov, a medical intuitive and a wealth activator, and this is another episode of Inside Healing. 10 to 15 minutes of insight and healing. Let me know how this episode lands for you and share this with somebody else who can use this right now. And in all honesty, everybody can use this right now. This is still part of the heart theme. Uh, I feel like ultimately love is the answer, love is the key. But today is love. Like we need to do this from love, but it's more. It's about forgiveness. Yes, you heard right. Now, I am running something very unique the whole time. It's a 5 force mandala frequency straight from my heart. In fact, it's not the hardest frequencies for me to run, but one that I really feel like a hose coming out at you. So it's going to be the whole time. So you may even feel in your heart center, and it's run by Isis, Metatron, Melchizedek, uh, Christ consciousness, and I feel like I'm forgetting Melchizedek, Metatron. Oh, and Archangel Michael. These 5 forces are helping run this forgiveness frequency for you as well, like right now, for this whole time. And don't worry, I will still run a sacred activation. I want to talk about forgiveness. You know, as you've seen with some of my previous episodes, that the open heart is essential for expansion, for living a life of truth, of living a life of freedom, because and also to the heart is the gateway to the higher chakras, but we cannot have an open heart if we are holding on to resentment and grudges. It's like being held in a cell. We think we're punishing the person that we're holding the grudge for. And I get it. You know, I don't talk too much about my personal life, but I went to the foster care system. You know, there was a lot of resentment and a lot of anger. And I would even say, as far as rage, you know, I don't talk about this very often, but in my first foster home, I was brought home within the police car. And I was not even 13. And it wasn't, the family was wonderful. I was just really angry and held a lot of, plus I was just super confused. So, you know, any kind of child, I did, things did shift with my third foster home. So everything did work itself out. But actually, yes and no. I knew how to play the game of being in the 3D, but I was not healed until definitely in my 30s when, you know, I was actually very clever. All my self-sabotaging habits were not seen. People still saw me as a good girl. And people still saw me as good. And how, oh my God, I can't believe you had that childhood. But so all my self-sabotaging habits were cleverly hidden, but inside I was still crumbling. Your heart cannot open as long as you are not able to forgive both yourself and the other person. And remember that shame is the lowest vibration emotion. And as long as we're carrying shame, we're also not able to forgive ourselves, or we have regret, or we hold mistakes. And which I would say self-forgiveness keeps us in the bigger cell, but absolutely holding a grudge towards somebody will keep you in the bars, that, you know, the jail bars that of your own heart. Even if you think that you're living in passion, even if you think you're married, blah, 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 all that could look great. But I promise you, if there's still resentment and anger towards anybody or shame towards yourself, your heart is not open. You know, I know this is my landing like, oh my God, that's landing so hard. But please accept this frequency that's coming from my heart to you, the 5 force mandala forgiveness frequency. But I want to read a few quotes, and you not believe this, but I was cleaning things up because I'm presenting actually on a few things, and I was looking through my old journals, and I'm not kidding. I opened up the page to where I had 2 forgiveness quotes. What? So let me tell you the first quote, and I can talk about it. Forgiveness is a reflection of loving yourself enough to move on, by Dr. Steve Maraboli. your heart will still be hurting. Your heart will still be breaking. You cannot truly move on because you're held by the bars around your heart. Even if you could be so successful, you could have all the money. It's the inner pain that I'm talking about. And that is the pain that causes health issues and mental health issues and all the plummeting. Second quote. It's so weird. I opened up to this page. It's from the Bhagavad Gita, which is a really big book. If you want to see brave, look at those who can forgive. It is brave. But what I want to talk about forgiveness, and did have a teacher that talked about don't worry about forgiving the other person, just worry about healing yourself. Work on healing yourself and forgiving yourself. The rest will be a voice got goosebumps. And you're still getting that 5 mandala because it's like a hose from the center of my heart. When you start to heal yourself, when you start to clear your anger and shame, and you forgive yourself and heal yourself, it's kind of like a ripple effect. Why? I'll tell you why. This is actually from personal experience. This is not from research. Well, the quote is, because when you heal yourself, you see others in a different light. You see them as human. You see them as human that did the best they could with the traumas that they were. Everybody's just living in a trauma response, survival response, and they're doing the best they can, still in the pain inside them. So I've had a lot of family trauma, ancestral trauma on my maternal side, and very powerful line of women that have sabotaged their own lives because of the pain that they could not release and probably didn't have the tools. And remember, I'm from Russia, my family's there. Been here since I was little, and the oppression kind of also makes it not very accessible to even get the help that you need. Oh, and I even wrote it here. I didn't read this yet. The thing about forgiveness, it's more about self-healing and love than about what the other person did and what you did. Once we release our own pain for ourselves and our own shame, the rest is like a ripple effect. I wouldn't say it's still easy. You still have to be kind of not actively, but consciously really allow yourself to breathe and see that person and just kind of shift how you see them. Guys, this episode, I mean, I hope I'm making, I want to be really honest with you that this may sound easy, but it's super hard. Especially if somebody has, especially childhood trauma. Childhood trauma is a whole other ballgame. So I'm gonna run now self-forgiveness for you while this frequency is running, and as a bonus for this episode, because this episode is really close to my heart, because I know what it's like to live chained and shackled with inability to forgive yourself for all your mistakes and then other people as well. So there is Rose Quartz running on you, as well as the 5-force mandala, forgiveness frequency from my heart to yours, actually through your whole being. But I'm also going to run self-forgiveness. Honestly, spend time on healing yourself and self-forgiveness, release the shame. The rest is a ripple effect, I promise you. Once you see your own humanness, ooh, that's the big point. Once you see your own humanness and your own fragility and your own doing the best you could in those times, you'll see other people in the same way. Because remember, everything is a reflection of how you are with yourself and around you. And once that shifts, everything else is a ripple effect. But please know that I know how hard this is. I know. Oh my gosh. because we like to look outside of ourselves. We need somebody to blame for our pain because our pain is unbearable to hold and in our own light. So here we go, running self-forgiveness, accept to receive. But first, take a few expansive breaths. Let every exhale bring you deeper into your body. And then let the next exhale bring you down, down, down through all the layers of Mother Earth until you get to the heart of the divine feminine mother. The one that's going to hold you and keep you safe. Please, maybe put your hands on your heart. I'll do it with you. Just say, I am worthy of forgiving myself. I'm worthy of healing. I am worthy of everything. I am special. I'm unique. There's no one like you. There's no one like me is what you're going to say. And from this place, accept yours to receive. And I'm running already sacred activation, self-forgiveness. But I'm going to be quiet for about 2 minutes because I'm going to let this 5-force mandala forgiveness healing frequency go, the rose quartz frequency, and also the sacred activation self-forgiveness. I wouldn't listen to this every day. And you may feel sad tonight. You may feel like crying. The biggest advice is to let it go. Let it flow. Let it flow. Weep, cry, scream, bang the walls, whatever you need to do, but let it flow. Accept to receive. Breathe expansively. So interesting. I'm seeing, I know that you're not live with me, but I'm seeing the metal be coming off like ropes, like soft. So breathe and allow this to free your heart. This will take you through lifetimes of holding on. So this is worth it. You are worth it. Expansive breaths. Let the rose quartz sparkle through you. And then make your way down, down, down through all the layers of Mother Earth until you get to the heart of Mother Earth. In that place, just really basic and integrating, grounding, and continuing to heal. This is the sacred activations will continue to run till it's done, and then there's a whole integration phase. And then make your way to your heart center, and maybe bring your hands to your heart center once again, and then in your mind, or actually out loud, please repeat after me. I'm fully back into my body, fully grounded and worthy of healing. and fully back into my body, fully grounded and worthy of healing. I'm fully back into my body, fully grounded and worthy of healing. And as I said, as you heal and forgive yourself, then when you shed the anger and the shame and any kind of stuff that we carry, especially as in childhood trauma, when we are so confused or puzzled, we're not, which is, it's just a very confusing time if you've had trauma in childhood. So we don't necessarily blame others. We actually think we are the bad person because we are confused. And even if it wasn't childhood, where there is shame involved, heal yourself, forgive yourself, and then feel that ripple out. Because every little and big thing is a reflection of you. Just take a few expansive breaths, and it's still going strong. And when you are ready, you may open up your eyes. Let me know in comments how this was. It was a little bit unique. And let me know how you felt, what came up for you. But please notice even the next couple of days, but definitely the next couple of hours, how it all lands. And if there's sadness, if you feel a little emotional, let it flow. As always, it's just such an honor. And thank you for letting me be part of your journey. Share this with someone. Subscribe so you never miss these moments of insight and healing. And yeah, just know that you are safe and you're worthy of it all.